Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we have a Gigabyte Z390 Aorus Pro board which is apparently faulty, and I have had a look at it already. It had a bent pin near the top of the CPU which I've already fixed, and I have powered it on as well. It was on a CPU light, and after I fixed the pin it was still on a CPU light, so I've just decided that I might as well record this and hopefully I can figure out what's wrong with it. And yeah, first things first, we're going to start with a BIOS flash, because a lot of the time when I've had a CPU light, and also the CPU wasn't getting hot, that's the main thing. A lot of the time when that's happened, it's either obviously some sort of fault on the CPU line, or also it could be a BIOS issue. And BIOS issue is a lot easier to fix, so we're going to do that first. So first we need to identify what kind of chip is on here. And I can see it down here, it even says MBIOS. Oh, there's two BIOS chips. Oh, okay. This board has dual BIOS, so actually, that's kind of weird. I wouldn't expect them both to fail. So maybe that's not the issue. Okay, well, I'm going to flash the one that's closer to me here. The one that I can get to, so that's MBIOS. I'm guessing that's main BIOS. Hopefully. Although, to be honest, since there's two there, I'm not expecting this to work, but I guess we'll see. So, well, first thing I'll do, I guess, I'll just set everything up, power it on, so you can see what's happening. So yeah, here's the board built up, and I'm not even going to put the CPU cooler on because the CPU's not getting warm anyway. And also, when I power the board on, you can see the LEDs flash for just a second. Like that. I don't know if it picked it up on the camera, but I just did it again. That is normal sometimes. I've had that happen on some boards, but also on other boards it's been an indicator of some sort of fault where like some voltage line will be up for a second and then it'll power off like almost straight away. But yeah, I'm just going to power the board on so you can see what's happening. And red CPU light in the bottom right here, and the CPU is just cold. Yeah, there's just nothing going to it. I have run it for a little bit, so this just doesn't change, it just stays like this. And the fan would obviously be spinning if I plugged it in. But yeah, so that is what we'll be trying first, the BIOS flash. So to do that, just like last time, I'm just gonna we need to first identify what the actual chip is. And I can see here it is an MXIC 25L. Hang on. Yeah, 25L12872F chip. Yeah, so here's the datasheet, and you can see straight away it's a 3-volt chip. So, just like last time, we're going to be using the CH341A programmer, but without the 1.8 volt attachment this time, because we're just sticking with the 3 volts that it outputs by itself. And actually, we need to swap out the ending as well to this one, because the chip is a different package to the other ones. Those were WSON 8x6, and this is, I think it's just called SOP16 or something. But yeah, I actually prefer these because for the other ones, if you've seen my other video, they don't actually clip on, they just sort of hover on top of it, so you have to push them down with something for the whole time that it's programming. Meanwhile, these have these little jaws on them that you can just use to clip onto the chips directly. And pin 1 is the one that's marked by a circle, not the white circle that you see here. I think that's just like the manufacturer's way of saying what version the BIOS that's programmed on there is. So to us that's not relevant. The actual circle is, oh, it's in the same place. Okay, so bottom left. So bottom left pin is pin 1. And that's the red line on here is pin 1. Attach that on. Oh, these are a little bit tricky to get on correctly, but I think I've got it there. And I just need to connect this to my laptop, and I'll be right back. So yeah, I've just turned the board for easier access, and the next thing we're going to do is we need to find the actual BIOS for the board. So I'm just going to type in Aorus Z390 Pro, yeah, so here it is, support, and scroll down to BIOS. So this one, and we're just gonna get the latest one. So that's version F14B. I think B is beta, but we'll use this one anyway. I mean, it's, yeah, June 11th, should be fine. So then I just extracted the file and now I've loaded it into NeoProgrammer. We're going to try identify the chip to see if it's actually found it. And it was a 72F, so yeah, we can see here 3.3 volts, that's fine. That's exactly what we're expecting. Select that. Don't need the adapter for this, it would tell us, like up here in the previous chip that I had, it tells you when you need the adapter. And yeah, I've got all the options selected just to be safe, I guess. And I'm just going to press program and I'll be back when it finishes to show you what happened. Okay, so it's all finished programming. I'm just going to power the board on and see if anything has changed, basically. So, power, oh, okay. Restart, that's a good sign. If it boots, oh, another restart. Okay, interesting. I don't know why that's happening. It is just restarting endlessly. Okay, let's try clear the CMOS first and see if that helps. Just short the pins together for a few seconds. Try again. Right. That is very strange. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Ah, okay, there we go. Just needed to do it a few times, I guess. CPU is still cold though. It's not heating up at all. Okay. Well, we've got something at least. It was power cycling a lot for some reason. Interesting. Yeah, nothing on the CPU still. Okay, in that case, I'm probably going to have a look at it, a closer look now, just to see if there's any obvious damage anywhere. Yeah, nothing. Okay, I'll have a look and I'll be back if I find something, or if I don't. Okay, there was some dust on the back here that I've just cleaned off, but I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up. There's some sort of discoloration, this area and this area on the back of the board. I mean, it kind of looks like it's just heated up a lot or something back here. And I have seen this on other boards and they've been fine, so I'm not really sure what to think of this. If I don't find anything, I might just get a multimeter and just test some of the voltages that are back here, or some of just the components generally, I guess. There was quite a bit of dust on the back here, so I just got a toothbrush and cleaned it all off, just like scraping it off like this. I'm going to try power it on again and see if that's changed anything. I'm going to do another CMOS reset as well. I don't like this BIOS thing. I don't know why it was doing that. Maybe it's because there was two chips and it was trying to program one chip onto the other one or something. I don't know why it would be power cycling for that though. I feel like it would just stay on while it was doing that. I don't know. I've never had a board with two BIOS chips before, so I don't really know how they behave. So let's see what happens. No, still nothing. Yeah, I'm just gonna have a closer look, I think, around the CPU on the front as well, and under this. Let me just take this off actually. Yeah, okay. Nothing? Nothing. Let's have another look. Okay, so I've had a look all around the board with my thermal camera, and there's nothing really heating up too much when it's both like in standby and powered on. This area here, there's a bunch of like little chips here. They're heating up to like 50 degrees, but I think that's normal. I've seen that on other boards as well. Not really sure exactly what they're doing, but yeah, I don't think they're the issue. So I'm just going to try a bunch of other like regular diagnostic stuff, I guess. Like I'm going to just try putting the RAM in different slots and just maybe reseating the CPU or cleaning out some of the RAM slots with IPA or something. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do now, and I'll be back once I've done that to update you guys. Oh, okay, there we go. Got something different now, finally. Ah, okay, VGA, cool, it's booting. Okay, so basically what I did in order was I swapped out the RAM into different slots, then I cleaned the RAM slots, and I took the CMOS battery out, and then also swapped the RAM into the second slot. I don't know what it was. Was it the CMOS battery? Let me check, actually. Oh no, okay, that seems to be fine, yeah. So, in the first slot, it just wasn't working a second ago. Now, in the first slot it wasn't working, in the second slot it is. So is that still true now? Let me see if I can get it to boot here. Oh yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, so I think it must have been when I cleaned out the RAM slots then. Which honestly often is the case, like you just need to clean the board properly and it will just start working. A lot of the time that is literally all that you need to do, from my experience. Okay, let me get the cooler on quickly. Okay, there we go. This cooler's broken, so it doesn't actually clip in, so all I do is just place it on top. Now I'm going to connect a GPU, because this doesn't have a display port, so yeah, I need a GPU for that. So I'm just going to connect the 2070 that I've used in the past. And yeah, I'm going to boot it. And yeah, let's power it on. There we go, CPU light. Should go to VGA in just a second. There, VGA light. And restart. Okay, that's fine. I can see the DRAM lights are on as well. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. VGA light on the... Okay, and restarting again. I'm not really too concerned about that right now. It can restart a few times. The first time, yeah, there we go. We got a boot screen. Another restart. Okay. This time I'm expecting it to go into the actual boot screen. Yeah, there we go. And, oh, why is the fan not spinning? There we go. Okay, I was about to power it off because I don't want the CPU to overheat. I don't have a keyboard with me right now because I left it somewhere. But I'm just going to plug my mouse in. And... yeah, you can't see this, but I'm on the boot screen right now. Actually, I'll show you. There we go. So, I'm going to do some testing. And basically all I'm going to do now is just test all the different RAM slots. I should get my other RAM stick out and just do it in dual channel, but I'll do that in a second. I'm just going to test RAM slot number 2 quickly. Okay, CPU's getting a little bit warm because the fan's speeding up. Yeah, okay, that's booting fine. In that case, I'm going to do some testing now. I'm going to do some stress testing and some benchmarks just to make sure everything's working fine. And that will be it, I think. Well, assuming it all works. But I'll be back in a second for you guys to let you know how it goes. Okay, I'm back. I've just finished doing all my benchmarks. Unfortunately, I only have one RAM stick. I don't know what I did with the other one, but I haven't seen it for like a week. So I had to do them all with only one RAM stick in and just overclock each one. But yeah, I'm happy that it works. Actually, the board works really, really well. The benchmarks were much higher than I thought they would be, so maybe this is just a really good board or something. So if you're going to get a motherboard for 8th and 9th gen, maybe look into an Aorus Z390. But yeah, like I said, all done. I'm not really sure what fixed it in the end. To be honest, it might have just been cleaning out the RAM slots. I don't see how that would be showing up as a CPU issue, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it works now. Maybe it was that and also the BIOS flash. I think that's probably likely from the way the board was behaving to begin with. And also there was that bent pin in the CPU slot. I think I mentioned that at the start. That was the first thing I did. Before I even started recording, I fixed the pin that was bent. But yeah, I'm just going to take this board apart. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. I'm probably going to make another one because this was a pretty quick fix. So stay tuned for that. Maybe it's going to be up by the time that you watch this. I've got a few nice boards coming up that I haven't had a look at yet. I've I've seen some component damage on one of them, a lot though, so if I do end up doing that one, that's going to be a lot of work. But yeah, some interesting stuff coming, so stay tuned and I will see you in the next one.